How is everyone this morning? I'm gonna try that again. I don't think my microphone is on. Am I on? Yeah, there I am. Now I'll try that again. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone this morning? It's a lot easier when you can hear me, isn't it? Welcome to Unity of Tucson. I'm Reverend Jonathan Zenz. I'm the minister here. It's such a pleasure to have you join us this beautiful Sunday morning for another high energy celebration of spirit. We are here to celebrate love. That's what Unity is all about, celebrating love. If you're online, now here's the thing. If you're online, we've been running this montage video of faces and people in our community, and we're retiring this particular video because we want new footage. We've been running the same video for a year. We want new footage, and so if you would, there's going to be information in the description field of the video about how to upload a 5 or 10 second video of yourself so we can put together a new montage. I would love to see that for you. And if you're able, if you're in the room, grateful to have you here. If you feel like standing up and moving your body as Linda Ackerman leads us in our opening song, please feel free to do so.
Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. If you see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see, wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart each and every day. There is no other way. It's up to you. Come on now. You got to put a little love in your heart.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Linda Ackerman and the band.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. As I say each week, I think the finest musicians in the New Thought movement, and I'm so grateful that you are here, and I'm grateful that you are here. So once again, good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful humans. Welcome to another High Energy Sunday. That's what I've started saying every week. It's a High Energy Sunday, right? Because we're going to raise the roof and raise the vibration. We're going to lift right out of here and ascend. It's a great thing, right? That's what I say. So we went through a process. Yes, I lived in Canada for many years, which is why I say process now, because I think it sounds better. We went through a process, the board of directors and I, to really look at the vision and the mission for Unity of Tucson. You know, we had a vision statement and we had a mission statement, and we looked at it and we said, is this really resonating with us, and is this guiding us, is this propelling us into the evolved spiritual place that we would like to be? And it wasn't that it was a no, it's just that maybe it's time to refresh and consider something new. So we went through months, literally, months of dialogue around a vision and mission, and we have come up with some new ideas. We have come up with a new vision statement, and I want to share it with this community. The new vision statement is this: we envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And here's the thing about a vision statement. The vision statement is only as active as the mission statement which propels that vision statement. And we had a lot, it's so funny. We literally had like this long mission statement, like, well, and we were nitpicking every little word and going back and forth. And we had this email, and I finally just said, I think we're missing the point. I think we actually already know what our mission statement is. And so while it took us a while to get there, this is what we determined our mission statement is. This is how we get to that world of magnificence. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. And so this is our new vision and mission. I am so, so excited to be able to share that with you. You know, in remembering who you are and remembering who we are, there is a truth that I know about you. And if you are new here, we'd love for you, if you feel comfortable identifying yourself as someone who is new to our community today, feel free to stand. We have a gift for you. And if you're new online, if you're watching us for the first time online, you can actually check in and let us know that you've joined us by going to unitytucson.com/connect and reach out, say hello, let us know that you are here. Is there anyone who is here for the first time? Welcome. Please stand up. Please stand up. And remain standing for just a moment. We have a gift for you. And if you want to come up front, you're welcome to come up front. And I would like for us as a community to let these magnificent beings know what it is we know about them. And it is this: you are magnificent. And I think that it is important that we normalize our sense of magnificence, and I think we should all exclaim it for ourselves. You ready? I am magnificent. I am magnificent. You are magnificent. We are magnificent. And that's what we are here to celebrate today. So let's celebrate that by first beginning with some quieting time, a little time of reflection, a little time of centering. In this high energy experience, sometimes it's nice to come to a place of center. And so I'm going to invite us all to do that by relaxing right where we are. Just allowing ourselves to turn the focus to that inner life. If it's safe and comfortable for you to close your eyes or let them fall to a soft, unfocused gaze, please feel free to do so. And quickly check in with the physical body to see if there's any place where we might be holding any unnecessary tension. And simply invite that tension to melt away. The very invitation sometimes is enough. I'm going to invite us all to place our hands over our heart space. And see how your body and mind react to that very simple action. Allowing with ease and grace the power of this moment. Letting go of anything that has preceded this moment. Releasing any anticipation for what is to unfold in the future. Let us be here now. Right here, right now, in this perfect moment of flow. Opening up to the understanding of an infinite divine power, creative energy that is expressing itself as all creation. All that is this power. And it is centered right where each and every one of us is centered. I'm going to offer for some contemplation this month's affirmation, which I will say a couple times through. And then let us have a few moments to simply relax in the silence. contemplating these words. I am always in the flow of life, growing and stretching into the best version of me. I am always in the flow of life, growing and stretching into the best version of me. Let's just sit with that for a few moments. I am always in the flow of life, growing and stretching into the best version of me.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith. And I am grateful every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. Right here in this moment, in this pure, perfect moment of centered awareness, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there is only one infinite power and presence. There is only one source, one creative impulse. There is one perfect thing, one perfect principle, one perfect energy. God the good. This greatness on demand is the core energy of each and every one of us. We are this very power and presence. This is our identity. And everything that is this magnificence. I lay claim to this understanding and know that the word I speak right here and right now is a word that is rooted in this power. And I speak my word on behalf of each and every one of us to know that all is well. that life is flowing with grace and with ease, that pure perfection is always, always the way. I live this truth, I accept this truth, and I acknowledge the gratitude overflowing from within for this truth, and I acknowledge the magnificence that says, yes, 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 it is so. And I simply let it be so as I relax and allow the pure, perfect unfoldment of this word. Knowing it to be so, I accept it as such. And so it is. Amen. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day. Just take a moment to recognize the energy in this room, this energy of serenity that we have created collectively. I trust you feel it online as well, that this is available to us at all times, under any circumstance, and for that I am deeply grateful. I'm going to invite Lydia to the stage to support this ritual that we engage in each week called Lighting the Flames of Faith. Lighting the Flames of Faith is a ceremony to honor all the traditions of the world, the religious paths, the spiritual ideas, the magnificence that is found at the core of each and every one of them. And what I understand and how I choose to understand and acknowledge this good is to say that it's all rooted in love. And so every tradition has the golden thread of love at its core. And so let's celebrate that with each candle that we light. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony, and for any seekers who may be unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives and the space that we are keeping open for them in our hearts. This candle we light is the healing candle, which represents the healing of any circumstance that requires the uncovering of the divine essence at the core, for that is the true nature of healing, the unfoldment of God at the core of all creation. And when we find ourselves in alignment with that at the forefront of our minds, our beliefs, our thoughts, our intentions, we find ourselves in a world expressed and experienced as healing. And this is done in many ways. It is done through love. It is done through forgiveness. It is done through compassion. So this is your candle for whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. The candle here on your left is our peace candle, which we keep consistently illuminated in this understanding that it represents the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as that peace transforms itself into our thoughts, our intentions, our actions, our deeds, well, we create a peaceful world to live in. And so let's honor this candle together by sharing together the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. Hello, Lydia.
Hello.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing great, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing great as well. You are magnificent. Look at this
Thank you.
beautiful shining light that you are.
Oops.
Oh, it's okay.
I think-
Here, I'm gonna adjust your microphone just a little bit. Yeah, I just want to put it right. Oops, sorry. Wally's probably having a fit back there. There we go. I think that'll work.
Yes.
Yes. So Lydia is here to talk about the homework from last week.
Yes.
If you're new to this community, I give homework every week. It's not hard, I don't think. I don't think it's hard homework. Come stand down here with me.
It was very easy.
Yes. So I'm going to let people know what the homework was last week first as a reminder. The homework last week was to reflect on something that has elicited fear in you in some way. And it may be something that you perceive as a great fear. It may be something that you perceive as something that is not a very great fear, something small. And what I asked is for you to find within yourself the place to ride in or dive into that fear,
Yes.
right? So that we feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yes.
So tell me, how did that go for you last week?
It went great.
Yeah?
I can't believe how much fear there is. There is a lot of fear.
There's a lot of fear.
We have to keep telling ourselves,
Yeah.
But so I went back and when I was a teenager up to the present, I think the biggest fear is flying.
Oh,
And back then I was a student, so I did a lot of flying, going home for the holidays and all that.
Yeah.
But then my nephews are pilots, and I was talking to my nephew Abraham, and I said, oh, this is a good time to tell him about my fear of flying, And he said, okay, so what do you like the best about flying? And I go, oh, I love takeoff and landing, And then he goes, what don't you like about flying? And I go, I don't like turbulence. And he goes, let me tell you something. The most dangerous parts of the flight are takeoff and landing. And you don't need to worry about turbulence because planes are made to withstand severe turbulence. So that was then, and now, but it didn't keep me from flying. So as long as we don't let fear get the best of us.
Yeah.
And then now, really what kind of concerns me is what's going on in the world. We hear daily about the fires, about the shootings. I'm so sick of hearing about COVID. So I decided I'm going to share this vaccine with you. I'm vaccinated with love, the greatest, most powerful energy in the world. I'm diametrically opposed to fear. So when I get into fear, I have to remind myself, no, I'm into an energy of love.
Yeah. And that's the greatest healing expression of all,
Yes.
the energy of love.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Well, you're very
Deeply
welcome.
grateful to you.
Thank
yes,
you.
Yes, yes.
It was easy homework.
Good. I'm glad it was easy for you. Thank you, Lydia Eisenberger. The idea of the fear of flying. I don't have a fear of flying, but I have a fear of falling. And my husband and I yesterday, we went up to Ski Valley in Mount Lemmon, and we took the ski lift up, and I white-knuckled it the whole time. Because if I had a harness on or something, I'm sure I would be fine. But I faced my fear, and I did it anyway. This song that I chose today as our featured song of the day is by one of my favorite bands of all time. It's a band, the two guys that met in university, but they were in musical theater school together. And they started working together, and they said, hey, we have kind of a cool sound. Let's maybe go somewhere. They've now released 3 albums and a lot of singles, and they've actually made it pretty big in the pop music scene. This is one of their newest songs called I Will Always Be There. When this life just ain't fair, and no one seems to care, when you feel like you need a shoulder, I will always be there. When they laugh and they stare, and it's too much to bear, when you feel like you need a shoulder, I will always be there. I'll be there. I will always be there. Oh, I'll be there. I will always be there. When the fire goes dark and you can't find a spark, when you need someone shining for you, you won't have to look far. I'll be there. I will always be there. Oh, I'll be there. I will always be there.
Little star,
A little star that's burning, a little hope returning in the darkest of the night.
when the waves come,
So when the waves come crashing, just wanna see you laughing. You know it's gonna be alright. I'll be there. I will always be there. Oh, I'll be there. I will always be there. Oh, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I will always be there. I'll be there. I will always be there. I'll be there. I will always be there. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. There's a lyric I want to go back to real quick. When you need someone shining for you, you don't have to look far. When you need someone shining for you, you don't have to look far. Have you ever felt like you need someone to shine for you? I know I have in my life. There have been times when I've I just can't, I can't get past that fear, right? I can't get motivated past that fear. And it helps to have someone who can step forth and say, you know what? I got you. I've got you. I'll be there. And I want this community to know I'll be there. This is what I've committed my life to being there for this community, for every single person I encounter spiritually. I'll be there. So if you ever find yourself needing someone to shine for you, don't feel afraid to call on me. I'll be there. There's a video that came up in social media. Do you know what social media is? Like Facebook and anyone engaged in social media? You know, I'm of a generation that was like one of the first adopters of social media in a really, really heavy way. And the generations that follow, it seems that's all they are engaged in is social media. There's a video that came up on social media, and I know that this video got put up. It was actually a satire video, but I thought it spoke such a magnificent message. But it got put up because of the Olympics, right? We've had the Olympics. The closing ceremonies are today of the Olympics, which have been going on for the last 14, 15, 16 days, however many days they do the Olympics now in Japan. This video that came up, a young athlete was being interviewed. You know how they do, like, you go through whatever your event is, and then and then you come down and you get interviewed by journalists. So this young athlete is being interviewed, and the interviewer was focused very much on how this young athlete had received the silver medal, not the gold. This young athlete had received the silver medal. And this young athlete, so excited for what had been accomplished, was just trying to express that enthusiasm and that love for, I've received a silver medal. And the interviewer seemed to suggest that the athlete should feel defeated because they had only won a silver medal. Have you ever seen those interviews, though? Those interviews exist. I'm like, they won a silver medal. I couldn't go to the Olympics and win a silver medal, I don't think. Well, maybe I could. Depends on what the Olympics are for, actually. What could I compete? What competition could I engage in at the Olympics? I don't know. Actually, I'll tell you about I'm going to tell you a little bit about an Olympics competition that I won. But here's the thing, before we get to that, the interviewer in this case seemed completely oblivious to this athlete's actual feeling of joy, of celebration. And you know what? I would rather be the athlete any day. I would rather be that athlete any day, because here's a question that comes up for me. What does winning mean? Is winning some outside experience, or is it that feeling you have of accomplishment within? I think it's important that we all understand that no matter what the external circumstances are, no matter what the medal is on the outside, we are all accomplished. We are all winners. Perhaps we must let go of this traditional competition frame of mind and embrace the nature within that simply wants to evolve. And you know, the magnificent and most magnificent and fastest path to evolution is not through competition, but rather through cooperation. And you may say, well, that flies in the face of what Darwin was saying. You know what? It doesn't. It actually doesn't. Hi, Darwin. He's shaking his head no. Of course, I am speaking about a different Darwin. But I will accept what you have to offer any day as well. Cooperation is going to evolve us more readily and more rapidly than competition. So in what way do you find yourself cooperating? I had to find myself in a place of cooperation when I was 16 years old. Follow me, Aiden. Because see, now I joke. What Olympic competition could I win? Well, I've never tried singing. If they actually bring competition of singing, then I'll open that up. But this is my silver medal that I have had since I was 16 years old when I won it. And in fact, if you want, I can pass it around. You can feel like it's a substantial weight. But this is a silver medal in 1989 for advertising design at the Vocational Industrial Clubs of America Skill Olympics. Now, the history of this,
I went to a fine arts high school. I went to Tucson High School. It's the fine arts high school here in town. And I took my very first commercial art class when I was 16 years old. Actually, I was 15 when I started the class. It went into, no, I don't know. And that doesn't matter. So I go into this class. I've never done anything like this before in my life. And I am tapped for some reason. I guess I had some skill to go to this statewide competition to compete in the Vocational Industrial Clubs of America Skills Olympics, which just makes me laugh every time I say it, right? And there was a group of us from my school, and you go to this, you drive up to Phoenix, and it's this big competition that takes place in like this massive space. And, it's literally one day I had to sit down and do an entire design and get it camera ready. Now, just as a reminder, in 1989, when I was 16 years old, there were no computers involved in any of this. This was all done completely by hand. And we had to learn skills the day before the competition that we had not yet been trained in. So we went to a community college, and there was a guy there who was a commercial design artist, and he taught us how to actually do it was like an acetate, kind of amber acetate thing you have to do, and you have to figure out what the 3 colors are that are going to be in your camera-ready artwork and do the layers, all of this stuff. Anyway, it's very complex, very convoluted, and I had to learn this the day before I went to compete. There was no thought on the part of any of us at my school, this being the very first year that any of us had ever competed in this particular category of advertising design, that anybody was going to medal. Gratefully, a lot of the people didn't finish their projects that day. I actually finished my project, and I think that's actually why I got a silver medal. But here's the thing, like when we were sitting there at the ceremony at the end when they were announcing all the winners, and we're all just sitting there like, oh, here comes advertising design. We don't think anybody's going to win. And they say the bronze medalist's name, and then they say the silver medalist's name, John Zenz. And I was like, did I hear that right? And so I get up and I walk down, and I got to stand on the platform, the podium, and they got to put the medal on and everything. And it was exciting. And here's what happened for me. I got pegged. This became my identity for a long time. This, the win, but just the silver medal win. When nobody had expected that there would ever be anyone who would medal in this particular competition. But here's the thing about being pegged with a particular identity. It's not the truth of my being. The truth of my being is so much more. The truth of our being is so much more than anything in the world of form or in the world of circumstance or in the world of experience that we could ever engage in. So today I want us to really start looking at what is the expectation that any of us have about those around us. And that includes the person that we see in the mirror. What is the expectation that we have of those people? What is the expectation that we are perceiving from other people about the way we should be? Are we buying into a consciousness of competition? And are we really ready to let that go? Because part of this identity that happened is that if I was not able to succeed the next time, I might be shamed for not being able to succeed the next time. You ever experienced that? To not live up to the expectation. We do that a lot, actually, in spiritual circles. We do a lot of spiritual shaming. You ever experienced that? Where you're not living up to the expectation of what somebody thinks you should be spiritually in their perception, because it has nothing to do with where you actually are. Their perception of saying, you're not living up to what I think you should be spiritually, has absolutely nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them and their own sense of limitation. So today I'm really going to encourage us all to let go of any spiritual shaming. And here's the thing. Me included, we all do it. We don't realize that we're doing it. But I want us to become aware, because that's the
benefit of the New Thought philosophy. That is the benefit of Unity's teachings. It is to become aware of what is happening below the level of awareness, to pull up into the space of consciousness, that which is within, so that we can then address what's happening and change our experience. That's the value. We should never negate anybody at any point of their journey, at any point of their path. We should never negate any of what they're experiencing. Because ultimately, the only person that defeats is us. That's it. You may have the gold medal in practice. It does not ever mean that we should shame the person who has the silver, or even the bronze, or even those who don't medal in the world of perception of competition. Now, here's the thing. You are not to blame for that approach to the experience of life. You are not to blame for the belief that competition is the way. None of us is to blame. For many of us, for all of us actually, it's a learned behavior. It's a learned behavior. We are taught through everything around us, through media, through our upbringing, through our teaching, through our schooling, that competition is the way. I'm ready to let that go. I'm ready to let that go and live in a society where cooperation is revered over competition. Because here's the thing about competition. The competition sensibility is not a loving sensibility. It is not a loving way to be in the world. And if we teach that the tenets of this philosophy are love only, forgive everything and remember who you are, we lead with love. And to be in competition or to perceive competition with others is not a loving way. So let's lighten up and just start to love each other and cooperate in love. There's a passage in Scripture I know many of you will recognize. It's used very frequently in weddings, and it's 1 Corinthians chapter 13 that begins, love is patient, love is kind, and so on and so forth. The 12th verse of that chapter says this, "For now we see in a mirror darkly, but then we shall see face to face." I had to really think about what this meant. For now we see in a mirror darkly, but then we will see face to face. There is a call to each and every one of us in this passage of Scripture that says we must be willing to reflect that mirror on what we see. And if what we see is a darkened image, a dark image, that which is not in alignment with the light and the life of the divine, which is the core of who we are, then we must be willing to address that. For right now, many of us do see that mirror darkly. But when we elevate our consciousness, our conscious awareness, and pull to the forefront of our thoughts and our beliefs and our actions the light of God, then we will see face to face. We will see the reflection of the Christ consciousness in that mirror, and not just in that mirror, but in the faces of every single person we encounter, because we will not be able to see anything else. So in what way might you be seeing the world? Are you seeing the world through a mirror darkly? Or have you chosen to step into that Christ-conscious awareness, to see face to face, to understand the face of God in every single person you encounter? Are we truly seeing the wholeness of others? Are we celebrating the life of each and every one of us as a magnificent divine expression? Because today is the day to celebrate the good, to celebrate the love, to celebrate the magnificence that brought us all into being, not just in this place, but in this place. This place of expression and experience. Tearing down others is seeing
the mirror darkly. Let us let go of that. If we are truly striving to express from the Christ consciousness, just as the way shower, Jesus did, because that was Jesus saw face to face. Jesus could see through the circumstances of life and see the light at the core of every single person. And Jesus being the way shower, being a way shower, as I often say, a way shower. We are all the same. We have that Christ consciousness. Are we allowing that Christ consciousness to truly express itself? Jesus beheld in others the wholeness and perfection, and he even saw it in those that we might look at and consider to be the least among us. You know, there's the joke that says Jesus loved to hang around with prostitutes and, people that are looked upon today as less than. Jesus was in with the people that we might perceive as being less than and understood the light in them. Do you understand the light in every single person you encounter? Lowell Fillmore had this to say. He actually wrote about that particular passage just briefly, and he had this to say: God cannot be measured by the standard of our perceived imperfections. God cannot be measured by the standard of our perceived imperfections. If we perceive ourselves as imperfect, if we perceive others as imperfect, we are not seeing the mirror face to face. We are not understanding the light at the core of all creation. We do a pretty good job, though, of measuring others based on our perception of limitation, right? This denies, that consciousness denies the infinite divine nature and ultimately speaks more loudly about who we are. And so it's time to let go, to open up, to let go of the spiritual shaming, to let go of the competition, to find the space within our hearts where we see face to face, we see the light, we see the life, we see the light of the divine in every single person we encounter, and live from that space of consciousness. Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the Four Agreements, said within that, all people live in their own dream, in their own mind. They are in a completely different world from the one we live in. So don't make assumptions. Assumptions are only born out of a sense of otherness, of competition, of not knowing who we are. Our work is to reflect and express the Christ consciousness. So to do this is to see the mirror lightly, to see past the limitation of circumstance, and recognize that we are all, each and every one of us, silver medalists. Because there's always going to be a gold medalist who we will perceive to be ahead of us, and there will always be a bronze medalist who we will perceive to be behind us. Let us all choose to be silver medalists and honor the gold, the bronze, and the non-medalists alike, more so today than ever before. For it is not the medals which define us. What truly defines us is the consciousness of one thing and one thing only, and that is love. Love. Love only. Forgive everything. Remember who you are. You are magnificent. Peace and blessings. I didn't really think I was going to wear the medal the whole time. There is homework this week, and the homework is this. Sorry, everything just disappeared off of my screen. Excuse me for a moment while I fix something technical. The homework is going to be told to you in just a moment. Okay. I know you're all like with bated breath. You're like, what is the homework going to be? I'll start telling you. I would like you to keep a diary this week. Some people may call it a journal. I'm going to call it a diary this week because I love the people that come up to me afterwards and say, I don't keep journals. Keep a diary this week of your interactions with other people. doesn't have to be extensive. It can just be jot little notes down to say, oh, I had this interaction, and here's kind of what the experience was of that interaction. Take care to notice when you might be unconsciously, and I'm talking about below the level of awareness, start to bring to the level of awareness these ideas. Start to notice when you might be unconsciously measuring others based on your own perceptions of limitation. Look past that dark mirror and see and celebrate the face of God in every single person you encounter. This week is all about growing in awareness. Just grow in awareness. I'm not telling you to do anything about it, just become aware. You will know what to do about it. Let's take a few moments to just reflect on whatever it is that may have come up for us. That may resonate, any kernel of truth that may have expressed itself through this experience here today that says, yes, this is what I needed to know. This is what I needed to understand. And this is what I shall carry with me.
In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I feel love. In the stillness of this moment I feel peace. I feel peace. In the stillness of this moment I feel peace. I feel peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment I feel peace. I know that peace is at the core of the heart of each and every one of us. For peace is a reflection of the infinite divine power at the core of the heart of each and every one of us. This infinite divine power is all that exists. There is nothing other than God. There's nothing other than infinite consciousness. There's nothing other than spirit, whatever we choose to call it. There is nothing that exists separate from the infinite. And so we are this very power. We are this very presence, for we cannot be separate from it. I lay claim to this idea and understand beyond a shadow of a doubt that all is flowing forth with grace and with ease, that there is that space within each and every one of us that has opened up to seeing the mirror lightly, to letting go of any sense of competition and moving forward in a sense of cooperation, divine cooperation, understanding that every single person we encounter is the face of God. Every single person we encounter is a reflection of each and every one of us, and so we act accordingly. It is with gratitude in my heart and overflowing that I simply allow this to be so. I relax, release, trust, and know that this is the truth. And so it is. Amen. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. In the stillness of I'm going to invite William Summers, the Vice President of our Board of Directors, to the stage. He has some stuff he'd like to share today. Hi, William.
Good morning, Reverend Jonathan.
Good morning, Reverend William.
And we're all gold medalists here. I hate to disagree with you, but we're all gold medalists in this room and the people watching online. No. Reverend Jonathan has asked that some of us step up and start something a little new, talking about our time for sharing. And talking about growth, I'm going to be looking at the screen up here and see if I can do it without the notes. People who have seen me before know that I can be a bit of a ham, and truthfully, I do enjoy this, but I'm going to be a little different this morning. We've done something so magnificent here at Unity of Tucson, starting with the people watching online a little over a year ago. This isn't possible, but we created the possibility of this happening, and it is. We have this beautiful room in which we're holding services now. I mean, who knew? When we can open up for the social time, when you go over to Harmony Hall, been completely refurbished. The offices, completely redone. This while a lot of businesses, and truthfully a lot of churches, have shuttered their doors. Now, how is this possible? It's possible because of the people watching online and the people sitting in this room made it possible. Reverend Jonathan couldn't do this himself. The board can't do it. The only way this gets done is if we all do this together. So as a member of Unity of Tucson, I want to express my gratitude for all the sharing that the people online and the people in the room have done to make this an unbelievably magnificent spiritual journey. Now, how can I share?
How can you share?
You need to put that up there.
It's there. How do you give? There are many ways that you can give. If you're online, you can give by going to unitytucson.com. It says so right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
There's
right.
another way you can give.
Send in a check.
You can send in a check, yes.
Yes.
We work well together. Can you tell?
And you can send it any way you want, mail, FedEx, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can also, if you have a smartphone, text Unity Tucson to 73256.
Yes, indeed.
And if you prefer to give like by credit or debit card, please stop in the bookstore after the service, and they will be glad to help you out with that. And with that...
Oh, just a reminder, though. Almost. We're almost there. Just as a reminder, if you're in the room, we're not passing the baskets currently because of the latest COVID protocols that have come out. But there are baskets at the back of the room, so as you're exiting here today, please feel free to put your contributions into an envelope and put them into the basket. I have had a request from our bookkeeper. If you are giving, please make sure that you put your full name and information on the envelope so that we know how to credit you properly, especially if you're giving by cash, because if you just write in William and put cash in there, we don't know which William to attribute that contribution to. So if you'd like to receive credit for that contribution, please make sure that you fill out the information in its entirety.
Oh, I've been making a mistake.
Have you?
Well, the envelopes that came in with cash that said William on it, I thought they were giving that to me.
No. Can't believe you just said that, and it's all on video.
Okay, if you would please share with me our giving statement. I share this gift with love, conscious of the inner presence as the lavish source and substance of my supply. I am rooted in the assurance that this gift blesses Unity of Tucson, and I trust in its ever-present circulation, knowing its blessings return to me, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, William. Deeply grateful to you. William Summers. We should do a show. I think we're very entertaining.
I do want to acknowledge the prayer chest, which is here at the edge of the stage, and want to remind you that if you have anything that is weighing heavily on your heart that you would like prayer for, there are prayer slips that are in the lobby. You can put them into the prayer chest, which will be in the lobby. But let's just take a moment to honor with blessings all that has been received here and know that the perfect work is done on behalf of every single request that has come through. I trust and know as well that the very activity of making the request is the first step toward healing. And so I accept that wholeheartedly right here and right now. And so it is. Amen. I would love to now invite Carol Woothie to join me here on stage. She has, and Kathy's coming up too. Love it. They have something that they would like to report on and let you know about here. You can, or you can just stand right in front of the lectern here, and whatever you're more comfortable with.
Okay, if you can hear me, I'm good. We're here to talk about the bears and the bags. We've been doing that for, I don't know how long, at least 20 years. And in case you were wondering, Christmas in July started in 1966 at Unity of Tucson. So this is a long-standing tradition. And we always loved collecting the bears and other animals because then Christmas in July was the perfect time. We could put them in front of the tree and make it all more festive. This year was magnificent. It really was. We had 153 animals. All of them were perfect. When we came in to sort them, I become the bear police because I want to be sure that everyone that goes is ready for a child. So we want to be sure they don't smell bad, that they're not frayed, that there's not something written on them that we wouldn't want to send. We cut the tags off. We make sure they're clean. Every single animal was in good shape and ready to go, and that doesn't always happen. So thank you. That was awesome. And the bags, we have never had 160 bags before. We put out the fabric. We did not have a sewing day. This worked so much better. Every single bag was wonderful. Some of them were uniquely made, and are going to be better than wonderful. Every single bag was great, and they all went. Kathy took them to Aviva. So we want to recognize everybody that participated in that. And I think that's all I remember that I was going to say. So Kathy has a few words.
Well, listening today what Jonathan was saying, and realizing what we did with these bags and these bears last week, they're going to be going to the face of God in every child. And these kids, are going through a time in their lives right now that may be difficult. And we are just giving them a little bit of love. They may never have received a homemade gift in their lives, which kind of boggles my mind because that's all that I got from my family of origin. But it's a beautiful thing. And to get something that's made with love and to feel all the love that was in it, Reverend Jonathan was talking a few weeks back about the gift of Siva and the heart-filled service that we are here to undertake in this world and to express our magnificence and be a light and a source of love to our community. We can't have community without unity, and we can't have unity without you. So we just want to thank, if anyone was here today who either participated in making a bag or going shopping and bringing a bear or an animal in, if you could stand up as well as...
the ones that helped pack.
Yes, I was just going to say that.
Terrific.
Yes, as well as the people who helped pack. If you could stand up right now, we would just love to just acknowledge you. And if you're not here in the room... So just know that from our hearts to your hearts and from your hearts to all of those beautiful faces of Christ in the community, we thank you.
And we will do it next year.
Yes.
And just one last thing is that Aviva has an annual sew-a-thon, and they used to just have a day of sewing, but this year they're also doing, as they did last year, is they're giving out bags of fabric, just like Carol did, and asking people to sign up, and then you could go to Aviva and pick up, they give you a package of 10 bags. It's starting August 16th, and their request is to have them done by the end of the month. This is the major push that they have for their annual sewing, and we can be sewing bags all year long as well. But if you do want to participate in that event, we have a board in the back that has all the things about Aviva, and if you want to take a picture of what you need to do to participate in that, you are more than welcome to do that. And thank you again. We love you.
Thank you so much. Deeply grateful for your commitment to supporting Bears in the Chairs every year. Of course, it will launch again next Mother's Day, and we'll continue through Christmas in July next year. But you know what? If you ever want to bring a bear or bring a stuffy, we will take them any time of year. So I'm just putting that out there as well. I have another major announcement to talk about. I'm trying not to belabor our time here together, but this is something that is important. And I want to ask you first to consider in your heart if you feel like this is your spiritual home. You don't have to answer, just check in with your heart space right here and right now to see if this is your spiritual home and this is your spiritual family. The reason I ask this is because our home needs some support. Our home needs some care. A couple weeks ago, we had some major rainstorms. I was not here for the really worst of it, but the week prior to my not being here, we had a major leak in the lobby. We had leaking water coming down. What we have known for a couple years, and we've been doing some stopgap measures to address it, is that we need a new roof. This building requires a new roof. And we have done some estimates. We're getting more estimates, but the estimate that we got last year is that roof is going to cost $80,000. There is 17,000 square feet of roofing that needs to be addressed, and it's just time. The patches that they put on last year, if you go up on the roof, you can literally just lift them up. So we have had a magnificent anonymous donor make an offer, and that is what we're going to call the 80 by 80 fundraising campaign. If we can, as a community, raise $60,000 by November 23rd, which is the 80th birthday of our anonymous donor, the anonymous donor will add $20,000 and we can get our roof fixed. So, my question to you is, do you take care of your home if you own your home? Because we own this home and we have to take care of it. So I'm calling upon each and every one of us to please step forth and contribute. And what you're going to see, you're going to see the things you always see. You're going to see the fundraising thermometer in the lobby, and you're going to see it in the emails, and we're really going to make a push to make this happen. I'm so grateful for this particular individual for stepping forth and saying, I want to make this happen. I'm going to match up to $20,000 to ensure that this happens, and let's get our home repaired. So I just wanted to make that announcement and let you know that that is happening, and you will start seeing a lot of information around that as well. And deep gratitude for that particular individual who has said, yes, I'm stepping forward to do this. So let's give that person, even though they are asking to remain anonymous, let's give them magnificent applause. So I want to say thank you to our technical crew for making today happen, their magnificent service to this community, Wally, Don, and Aiden, for all that you do. I want to say thank you to this magnificent, magnificent group of musicians, Linda, Joshua, Rafael. So grateful for you. I want to say thank you to Lydia for your contribution and your feedback this week. Carol, Kathy, thank you. William, thank you. I want to say thank you to this entire community for making yourself present and known and being a light in this world. And you know what? I agree. You are all gold medalists. Thank you to everybody who's watching online as well. As we complete our time here, let us share together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen. And let's finish the day by singing a song. Feel free to move your body. I can't help it. God makes me want to sing. I can't help it. God makes me in my guiding light. No matter what comes, it always turns out right. I just dig down to how I feel. I take a deep breath and then grab the wheel. That's why I'm believing in my guiding light. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. Makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. Makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Namaste.